The year is 1000 BC. In the spring, at the time when kings go to war, King Achish and the Philistine army have had enough with the Israelites and has mustered a campaign to wipe them off the face of the earth, and in the process, also extend their territory. A prophecy is looming in the cloud that today is doomsday. From Aphek, the Philistine troops matches in their hundreds and thousands against King Saul and his army in Jezreel. In the heat of battle, while many Israelites are slaughtered on the slopes of Mount Gilboa, the rest run for their lives. The Philistines close in on King Saul and his sons and kill Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malchishua. With the battle so fierce, the Philistine archers catch up with King Saul and wounds him severely. Not willing to suffer humiliation and torture in the hands of the Philistine, Saul falls on his own sword and takes his life. When the Israelites on the other side of the Jezreel Valley and beyond the Jordan sees that the Israelite army had fled the scene and that Saul and his sons are dead, they abandon their towns and run for their lives. In Gilead, north of the Jabbok River, not far from Mahanaim, is a town known as the ghetto of ancient times. The name is Lo-Debar, and resident in this town, in the house of Mashir, son of Amiel, is a cripple. His name is Mephibosheth. The worst thing in life is not to have a condition, but that the condition will have you. And there is nothing painful as seeing your promised land and not being able to step into it. The story of Mephibosheth is a tragic one. Sad, shocking, and unfair. Yet it gives a perspective in life that no matter what has happened to you, you can overcome and recover all. Meet Mephibosheth, a young man who could have or should have been the king of Israel, and yet a situation has robbed him of his inheritance. His life is anything but what he was destined to be. He is the son of Jonathan, a gift of God, and grandson of King Saul. The name Mephibosheth means destroyer or dispeller of shame. So how come? What happened that he who had a destiny to fight and eradicate shame from the lives of many have himself become a victim? Why has he been shackled and dominated by the very thing he was born to destroy? He is stuck in Lo-Debar. The word Lo-Debar means nothing, no word, and no pasture. It's a ghetto, a place of insignificance, silence, and without sustenance. Lo-Debar is your rock bottom, where nothing seems to work after doing all you can. Imagine Prince Mephibosheth in Lo-Debar, a man destined for great things, yet crippled by a condition and tossed into a life of contradiction. He's the opposite of everything he's supposed to be in life. You may be listening and you feel as if your life is in Lo-Debar. You know you are better than this, or can do much more. You are a prince. Yes, you are a princess, a child of God, and a person of relevance with a destiny to liberate many from shame and disgrace, to restore broken lives and shattered dreams. Yet Lo-Debar has claimed you as its prisoner and silenced the very purpose for living. Have you ever sat down and looked at your life, your family, educational pursuit, career path, health, marriage, relationship, ministry, and whatnot, and wondered, where is God? Why is the sky over my head as bronze and the ground beneath is iron? Why is God so silent? When will my star rise? Why this abuse, this pain, this ridicule, this disgrace? That's it. I can't take it anymore. I've had enough. God, if you won't help me, just kill me. What did I do to deserve all this? Mephibosheth lost his inheritance not because he said something or did anything wrong. Since age 5, this tragic accident has robbed and gathered all his dreams and put them on layaway. You may have lost your parents or that special loved one has tossed your life into Lo-Debar. He has big dreams of doing great things in life, but he's stuck in Lo-Debar. So what happened to Prince Mephibosheth? How did his life turn so bitter? He was not born this way, so why the humiliation? Mephibosheth went to sleep and woke up as normal. Brushed his teeth, took his shower, had his breakfast, while waiting for his father, grandfather, and his uncles to return with victory from fighting the Philistines. But instead of good news, he rather had to run for his life. And in the course of such urgency, his nanny drops him and ruins his life. I don't know who is carrying you or what you've entrusted your future and hope to, but if that person is not God, then expect a drop very soon. If your hope is in your achievement, job, business, family, spouse, investment, or something other than the God, then get ready for disappointment. You are heading for Lo-Debar. Something happened to Mephibosheth as a child that he never recovered from. Someone dropped him. Has someone dropped you in disappointment, rejection, broken trust, and silence? The number 5 is the number for grace. And in the midst of misfortune, yet grace was still speaking for this runaway prince. A covenant between his father and King David was speaking for him. Is anyone in Saul's family still alive? Anyone to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake? Asked David. In his inquiry, the case of Mephibosheth came up and was called upon to bring him to the palace. When he came to King David, he bowed low to the ground in deep respect. Though privileged to be called by the king, he was also afraid. In ancient times, when a king is defeated, all his descendants are eliminated to stamp out any future rebellion. Don't be afraid, said King David. I intend to show kindness to you because of my promise to your father Jonathan. I will give you all the property that once belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will eat here with me at the king's table. Mephibosheth bowed respectfully and exclaimed, Who is your servant that you should show such kindness to a dead dog like me? Mephibosheth, who was crippled in both feet, lived in Jerusalem and ate regularly at the king's table. You are not your condition. Don't define your life based on the happenstance of life. A prince destined to erase shame is now calling himself a dead dog, unclean, unworthy, and undeserving of the king's favoring grace. Tragedy took everything from Mephibosheth and buried his destiny in Lo-Debar. Yet a restoration covenant was speaking for him. After years of tears and pain, of shame, ridicule, silence, rejection, and denial, just one encounter with the king override and covered every form of defects. All it takes is one encounter with the King of Kings, and the test will become your testimony. When you encounter Jesus, you encounter everything you've been waiting and hoping for. When you encounter him, your Lo-Debar experience comes to an end. The Lord Jesus is calling for you. A table is set in your honor, and the palace is waiting for you. Will you come? Will you trade in your rags for his riches?
Thank you for watching. Kindly like, comment, and subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime a new video is uploaded. And please don't forget, share and be a blessing to someone. God richly bless you. Shalom.